guess he the ringmaster because, you know, he do it big and he always put on a show. So Puffy is the ringmaster.
And then I think about that really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
Like, and Trey's like literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet. For some reason, y'all like to conveniently forget what age Foxy Brown was when he was with her. Y'all like to forget that he was rolling with R. Kelly, and they was doing a lot of things together.
Every day it looks like Diddy is inching closer to jail time because folks like Jaguar Wright and Ice Cube are relentlessly keeping the heat on him, and a lot of folks are actually pretty glad about that. So with all the grimy allegations floating around about Diddy already, it looks like another big name has just been dragged into the mess. None other than Justin Bieber. The word on the street is that Diddy has been using Bieber for his own gain, and it gets worse. Rumors are swirling that he even let his friends take advantage of Justin too since he was a minor.
Record label. The cycle repeated when Puff Daddy found Justin Bieber around the same age as when he found Usher. According to Justin Bieber's own mother, Puff Daddy corrupted her son, pressuring him to go to these fueled parties.
Now, while all eyes are on Diddy, another big name is starting to get some unwanted attention: Jay-Z. It's not exactly a shocker for many, considering the rumors have been brewing for a while about Jay-Z possibly being the next domino to fall after Diddy. Given their close ties in similar circles, people are whispering that Jay-Z might be involved in similar shady stuff.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right? Has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Who is Sean approved from the world of entertainment?
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
And it doesn't stop with Jay-Z. It seems like a whole roster of A-listers could soon be caught up in this storm, especially those who are regular faces at Diddy's infamous parties. By now, pretty much everyone knows that Diddy's parties are far from just chill get-togethers.
Be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. Is that two kissing?
Cause P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
See, according to the lawsuit details from Lil Rod, Diddy might even have compromising footage of every single person who's ever made it through his party doors. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has really thrown fuel on the fire by claiming that it's not only celebs in the hot seat, politicians, preachers, and other high-profile folks could all be on Diddy's blackmail list.
I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there.
This whole situation is massively insane, but let's dive deeper. Now, Jaguar Wright recently shed some light in her latest interview with Storm Monroe. She talked about that unsettling video where Justin is seen with Odell Beckham and Trey Songz. In the video, it kind of looks like Justin might be doing something pretty compromising with Odell, like going down on him. Some fans tried to brush it off, saying maybe Justin was just high on which is still pretty bad because it's these older guys encouraging a younger guy into that lifestyle. But Jaguar set the record straight. It wasn't just some thing. She said it was exactly what it looked like Justin was doing. And she pointed out Justin's noticeably wet mouth at the end of that clip as proof that it wasn't innocent at all. And it looked like Justin Bieber might not have been into what was going on because Jaguar Wright mentioned that Trey Songz was basically playing lookout, making sure no one, especially the paparazzi, caught what was happening with Odell Beckham and Justin. It's a pretty twisted setup when you think about it.
And then I think about that really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
Like, and Trey's like literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet.
According to Jaguar Wright, this downward spiral for Justin probably started after he spent those infamous 48 hours with Diddy. Remember that footage where Diddy's promising Justin a Lamborghini and a house during their staycation? Now that we know more about Diddy, that video just gives people the creeps. It's hard to watch without imagining what Justin had to endure under the guise of Diddy's mentorship. And yes, Diddy did end up giving Justin that Lamborghini. Like, as soon as Justin got his driver's license, he was seen driving a Lambo that looked just like the one Diddy talked about giving him. If Diddy Diddy didn't give it to him, then that's one heck of a coincidence, right? But here's the thing. Why would Diddy give such an extravagant gift to a young artist out of the blue? A lot of folks think Diddy was playing the role of a sugar daddy, lavishing expensive gifts on Justin in return for some favors.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. All right. And then when you get 18, you get the house. Him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
After hearing about all the terrible things Diddy allegedly did to Cassie, detailed in her lawsuit, and what Lil Rod has claimed, it seems like Justin Bieber might have had it even worse because he was so young when he got involved with Diddy. You can see the difference if you look at a video of Justin from back then, so young and innocent, compared to how he appeared just a few years later. It's clear he went through a lot, but it's kind of wild that people are only starting to piece things together now, even though the red flags were there the whole time. There's this one clip where Justin is visibly nervous while talking to Diddy, stumbling over his words because Diddy caught him off guard. The rumor is that Justin's team had been keeping him away from Diddy for a bit because they thought Diddy was a bad influence and was messing with Justin's health, both mentally and physically. So when Diddy showed up out of the blue, ready to dive back into their old dynamics, things got super tense. There's also this other video where it looks like Diddy is patting Justin down, maybe to check if he was wearing a wire, which is just bizarre. Whatever Diddy whispered to Justin at the end, it left Justin ending the meeting with a "love you." Another thing people often overlooked was how Justin Bieber's problems with and other substances seemed to escalate after he started hanging out with Diddy. Take the 2014 Cyruck party Diddy threw, where Justin was seen holding a bottle that was supposed to be Aqua Hydrate, a brand of water. But if you took a closer look, the liquid in the bottle Justin had was suspiciously yellow, hinting it might not have been water after all, possibly or something else. Years down the line, Justin openly shared how tough that period was for him. He was hurting, unhappy, confused, and even felt angry at God. It's a stark contrast to the image of him living it up at the height of his career. Despite the flashy lifestyle, Justin was struggling with some deep issues. Of course, it's important to note that Diddy wasn't the sole cause of Justin's troubles. Breaking into the industry at a young age without much solid guidance set him up for a rough ride. He was young but faced manipulation and objectification from nearly every corner. Fellow artists, interviewers, show hosts. It seemed like everyone wanted a piece of sweet JB, regardless of whether he was okay with it. Like this one time on Ellen DeGeneres' show, she actually showed this super revealing paparazzi photo of Justin and then threw some pretty awkward questions his way. It just wasn't cool, especially considering his age at the time.
You just brought a friend to Bora Bora?
Yeah.
And you're just your friend?
Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Gosh.
I mean, you can say, why can't you say you're dating somebody?
I'm not dating anyone, though.
She's just a friend?
Back in 2011, when Justin was just 16, he had this weird interview with James Corden at the Brit Awards. Corden was just acting all strange around him.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
Fast forward a bit, and at the 2012 American Music Awards, there was this moment with Jenny McCarthy that was just uncomfortable. Justin was barely 18, and Jenny, who was 40 at the time, was all over him. He literally had to pull away from her, and he even started his acceptance speech by saying, "Wow, I feel so violated right now." It just shows how awkward and out of place that whole scenario was.
I feel violated right now.
And it's not just those incidents. There was another time when an interviewer was asking 15-year-old Justin some really inappropriate questions about the talk. Justin even had to call them out on it, like, why would you ask a kid those kinds of things?
Okay. So why don't you give me? I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. Why do you want to know from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird.
And here's Katy Perry just feeling Justin up.
Who apparently wanted to know what a Bieber felt like.
Justin Bieber has really been through the ringer in this industry. The fact that he managed to navigate through those dark times is almost miraculous. And while all this was happening, the very people who should have been his protectors, like Usher and Diddy, weren't really stepping up. In fact, it often seemed like they were part of the problem. Now, as for Jay-Z, folks are digging up some old skeletons from his closet that could spell trouble. And a big part of it circles back to his past connections with the likes of Diddy and his old friend R. Kelly.
For some reason, y'all like to conveniently forget what age Foxy Brown was when he was with her. Y'all like to forget that he was rolling with R. Kelly, and they was doing a lot of things together.
Back in the day, Jay wasn't exactly an overnight success story like some of his buddies in the music business. Meanwhile, R. Kelly was already a big name in the R&B scene, and Diddy was making waves in the record label world. Eventually, their paths crossed, and Jay ended up collaborating with both of them on various projects. Now, Jay and R. Kelly were tight, both inside and outside the studio. They hit up the same parties, shopped at the same spots, and even shared a few romantic interests. But here's where things get sticky. Since R. Kelly's been called out for being a creep, folks are starting to wonder if Jay might have been in on it too. There's talk floating around that Jay wasn't just turning a blind eye to R. Kelly's antics. Some people are speculating he was right there in the mix, maybe even encouraging and covering up for him. Take Aaliyah, for example. R. Kelly supposedly married her when she was just 15. Yeah, that's a major no-no because legally she couldn't sign any documents for herself, needed a parent or guardian for that. But R. Kelly managed to pull some strings and got paperwork that said Aaliyah was 18 and cool to consent to marriage. Fast forward, the truth came out, and turns out R. Kelly, well into his 20s at the time, had forged documents to marry a child. The marriage got annulled, but Hollywood's got some seriously messed up dealings, doesn't it? Here's the crazy part. Somehow, the dude managed to avoid prison. I know, it sounds like 1,000 laws got broken, right? But you know how it goes in Hollywood. If you've got enough money and influence, you can make things disappear and get away with all sorts of stuff. Now imagine if this whole mess went down in 2024. R. Kelly would probably get hit with the cancel train, massive social media uproar, investigations for forging documents and marrying a child, and a swift exit from the industry. But it was the 90s, a different time. Here's the thing, Jay-Z didn't cancel R. Kelly or even keep his distance. Nope, they went on to drop a joint album and even hit the road together on tour. Jaguar Wright chimed in and thought it was all kinds of weird and couldn't figure out how Jay-Z was cool with getting involved with R. Kelly. I mean, looking back, Jay-Z seemed totally fine with R. Kelly being with a minor, even marrying her. Makes you question his morals, right? In fact, back in 2002, Nas dropped the hint that Jay-Z was hip to what R. Kelly was up to with underage girls, including Aaliyah. He spilled the beans to Wendy Williams on the radio when a tape of R. Kelly with a younger girl surfaced. He said, "I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about and made fun of it and show pictures of Jay hanging out. You can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come into the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. You're gonna tell me he didn't see no 14-year-old girl come into the vicinity."
You can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you want to tell me that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
When R. Kelly got hit with those terrible charges, Jay-Z tried to act like they were never buddies. There were even rumors that Jay-Z had a major crush on Aaliyah, and everyone in the industry, including her man Dame Dash, knew about it. Dame even spilled the beans to Page 6, saying he tried his hardest. He said, "I did not mean to fall in love with Aaliyah, she was just that cool. But you know, we were both going hard, everybody was trying to get to Aaliyah. It was not just Jay." According to Dash, he didn't even know Jay-Z had feelings for Aaliyah before he started dating her. He added, "I did not know Jay was trying to holler at her, but then it just happened like he was trying, I was trying, everybody was trying. He was going hard." Now, two buddies battling it out for the same girl, total disaster waiting to happen. Jealousy kicked in fast, especially since Aaliyah was juggling dates with both of them. But here's the twist. Aaliyah started favoring Dame, and Jay-Z wasn't feeling it. Now, we all know Jay-Z doesn't handle losses well. It all went south when Aaliyah and Dame took things up a notch, and Jay-Z got the scoop at a 4th of July bash they all hit up. Jaguar Wright spilled the tea, backing up Dame's story. Allegedly, Jay-Z got his revenge game strong by wrecking Dame's business and him out, all because Dame got the girl.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. But to do it the way he did it, but maybe that was because he girl that didn't want you.
Anyway, Jay-Z shifted his focus from Aaliyah to Beyonce, aiming to be part of Hollywood's ultimate power couple. Problem was, for that dream to happen, he needed Beyonce to be the top lady in Hollywood. Now, don't get me wrong, Beyonce was destined for greatness with or without Jay-Z. But rewind to when they first crossed paths. Beyonce had just stepped out of Destiny's Child and was hustling to make her mark. Meanwhile, Aaliyah was already carving out her own lane, ready to conquer the world. But then tragedy struck, and Aaliyah left a void at the top. According to Jaguar Wright, that wasn't just a coincidence. It paved the way for Beyonce to step into the spotlight. There were even talks that Aaliyah's passing might not have been a freak accident, but a well-orchestrated plan, and fans were saying that Jay-Z and R. Kelly were in the know about what really went down with Aaliyah. And considering their tight friendship with Diddy, he might have the scoop too. Maybe they even cracked a laugh and carried on. When karma hit R. Kelly, Jay-Z's PR worked overtime to act like they weren't buds at all. And now it seems Jay-Z is doing the same thing to Diddy. Ice Cube's out here claiming Jay-Z might throw Diddy under the bus because of all the heat he's getting from the public, when he is also doing the very same thing Diddy did. Let's take Foxy Brown as another example. Rumors are that Jay's started G-wording her when she was about 14. Supposedly, they ended up getting involved when she was 15, and he was a 24-year-old dude making waves with LL Cool J's I Shot Ya remix. Foxy was doing her thing in the music world, teaming up with big names, but the one that stood out was Jay-Z. They hit us with their first major duet, Ain't No N, on the Nutty Professor soundtrack in '96. And those lyrics had everyone raising eyebrows. Ain't no N like the one I got. No one can F you better. Sleeps around, but he gives me a lot. Like, why was a 15-year-old singing those explicit lines? But Jay-Z eventually decided to address these rumors in one of his songs, Picasso Baby, where he said, I never stuck my C in the Fox's box, but damn if I ain't open up Pandora's box. They try to slander your man on CNN and Fox, but my Mirandas don't stand a chance for cops. Even my old fans like, old man, just stop. And there's also Tierra Marie. Before she was on Love and Hip Hop, she was in the mix at Def Jam with Jay-Z. He was all about her, calling her the princess of the label and the first lady of the rock. Fast forward to the night of her prom, he does a 180 and drops her from the label with zero explanation. Jay-Z told Tierra Marie she was getting the boot from Def Jam because her debut album didn't do well, right? But the numbers don't add up. Her album sold 69,000 copies, hit number 5 on the Billboard 200, and snagged the second spot on the R&B and hip-hop albums chart. That's not bad for a debut, but Jay-Z's playing it off like it's a major flop, giving her the boot with no clear explanation. Now here's the twist. Rihanna drops her debut a couple of weeks later, also selling 69,000 copies, but her album charts lower at number 10. Now by the logic Jay-Z used with Tierra, Rihanna should have been in the same boat, right? But no, Rihanna's still standing. Why? Well, according to the rumors, the not-so-secret sauce is that Jay-Z was supposedly getting cozy with Tierra at the time, even though she was still in high school. Also, a blind item spills the beans that L.A. Reid allegedly got in the mix first, hooked up with Tierra, then supposedly passed her to Ray J, who in turn passed her along to Jay. Yeah, it's all kinds of messed up, especially considering she was a minor at the time. Hold on, there's more. Ray J and Tierra went public in 2006, right after Jay-Z dropped her. She was 18 and he was 25, but rumors were floating around that their thing started way before she hit legal age. Now here's where Jay-Z's story starts to crumble. If her first album was such a train wreck that he was ready to her, why on earth was she working on a second album? Well, according to the blind item, the real reason Jay-Z dropped her wasn't about album stats. It was because Ray J wanted Tierra all to himself and got jealous that Jay-Z was in the mix. Rumor also has it Beyonce caught wind of the affair and put her foot down, demanding Jay-Z cut ties with Tierra completely. Now, Jay-Z's solution wasn't just dropping Tierra from Def Jam. He went all out and blacklisted her from the industry, making sure nobody would give her a shot. No wonder Tierra's career tanked after leaving Def Jam. It's a head-scratcher because she had the talent, no doubt. Her debut album even hit the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 200. But according to L.A. Reid, Beyonce played a big role in the label shifting attention to Rihanna and giving Tierra the boot. Reid said, "We had an in-house company showcase and Beyonce happened to be there with Jay-Z, Tierra Marie, Rihanna, a 4-girl group called Black Butterfly, and Neo performed. At the label, we thought Tierra Marie would be a big star. We spent more time on her, did more work on her, paid more attention to her. A bell went off for me, however, when after the showcase, Beyonce came up to me and said, 'That Rihanna girl, she's a..."
Truth is, I was paying a little more attention to her than I was to Rihanna. After the showcase, you know, Beyonce just gave me one of those looks and he said, "That Rihanna girl, she's..." and she looked away.
Now, we're not about to throw shade at Queen Bee, but let's dive into this. Beyonce was already the bigwig in Hollywood at the time, so her words held major sway. She had to know dropping a comment like that would steer L.A. Reid's ship. Props to her, though. She played the game so smoothly that L.A. Reid didn't even clock he was being played. We all thought she was just giving her man Jay-Z's artist, Rihanna, a boost, because Jay-Z personally signed her to Def Jam. Turns out the real deal was she was trying to clear the field for her man by taking out the competition. Allegedly, of course. And speaking of Queen Bee, let's dive into those rumors about Jay-Z supposedly pulling the strings in their marriage. The streets are buzzing, saying they hooked up when she was 18 and he was 30. But Jay-Z's telling a different story, claiming they didn't start dating until she hit 20 and he was 32. Still, it's a head-scratcher since Beyonce herself spilled the tea, saying they met when she was 18. In her words, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we first started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." Fair enough, she wasn't underage, but there's still a 12-year gap there, and she was a teenager. Then there's also the fact that Jay-Z was Beyonce's first real relationship. She's been upfront about how her teenage years were all about the hustle. She said, "My teenage years were about the grind. My energy went into Destiny's Child and the dream of getting us a record deal and becoming musicians. If something wasn't helping me reach my goal, I decided to invest no time in it. It didn't feel like I had time to kiki or hang out. I sacrificed a lot of things and ran from any possible distraction." So, not only was Jay-Z 12 years older, but Beyonce was also pretty green when it came to relationships. But there's more to this Jay-Z and Beyonce saga. According to Beyonce's former bodyguard, Jay-Z allegedly goes full-on paranoid, fearing Beyonce might leave him. How? Well, the word on the street is he allegedly keeps her in check by allegedly giving her
Yeah, Beyonce's on. She been on him for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Jaguar also spilled some tea on that, calling Jay-Z a obsessed with controlling Beyonce. She even drew parallels to Britney Spears' situation, claiming Beyonce's like a prisoner in her own marriage.
The more he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in the character.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce.
Talking about free Britney, y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
And Jaguar wasn't finished airing out Jay-Z's laundry. She recently went on record saying he's worse than Diddy, and you know the kind of wild allegations that circulate around Diddy. So if Jaguar's saying Jay-Z takes the cake, you've got to wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. She claims Jay-Z's just smarter than Diddy, keeping his business tighter and avoiding the spotlight, backing up what Ice Cube is saying about how Jay-Z is quietly stepping back from being buddies with Diddy and leaving him to face the heat in the public eye, all while doing his own thing on the low.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's patient.
So all this drama unfolding is seriously wild, right? But we want to hear your thoughts about all of this. Hit up the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video.